The Forgotten Town. 4 friends, Jake, Mia, Sam, and Zoe, decided to take a road trip to an abandoned town that was not on any map. They had heard urban legends about the town being haunted due to a mass tragedy that occurred decades ago. They were curious and adventurous and wanted to see for themselves if the rumors were true. They packed their bags, loaded their car with snacks and drinks, and set off on a sunny morning. They followed the directions they had found online, which led them to a dirt road that seemed to go nowhere. After driving for an hour, they finally saw a sign that read, "Welcome to Hollowville." They drove into the town, which looked like it had been frozen in time. The buildings were old and dilapidated. The streets were empty and overgrown with weeds, and the air was silent and eerie. They parked their car near the town square, where a fountain was dry and cracked. "Wow, this place is creepy," Mia said, grabbing her camera. "Let's explore," Jake said, grabbing his flashlight. "Are you sure this is safe?" Sam asked, looking around nervously. "Come on, don't be a chicken," Zoe said, grabbing her backpack. They got out of the car and locked it. They walked around the town, taking pictures and videos of the abandoned houses, shops, and church. They found a newspaper that dated back to 1956, which had a headline that read, "Massacre at Hollowville. 100 dead in fire." "What happened here?" Mia asked, reading the article. "It says that someone set fire to the town hall during a town meeting and then blocked all the exits. The fire spread quickly and engulfed the whole town. No one survived," Jake said. "That's horrible," Sam said. "Who would do such a thing?" Zoe asked. "Maybe it was someone who hated the town, or someone who was crazy," Jake said. "Or maybe it was a ghost," Mia said. They laughed nervously and continued their exploration. They entered the town hall, which was charred and blackened. They saw skeletons and ashes on the floor, chairs and tables melted by the heat, and a large hole in the ceiling where the fire had escaped. They felt a chill in the air and heard a faint whisper, "Help me." They looked at each other in fear and ran out of the building. They decided to leave the town as soon as possible. They ran back to their car, but when they got there, they saw that their tires had been slashed. "What the hell?" Jake said. "Who did this?" Mia asked. They checked their phones, but they had no signal. They checked their cameras, but they had no battery. They checked their flashlights, but they had no light. They realized that they were trapped in the town with no way out. They heard another whisper, "You can't leave." They turned around and saw a figure standing in front of them. It was a man wearing a black hooded cloak that covered his face. He held a matchbox in his hand. He spoke in a raspy voice, "Welcome to Hollowville." He lit a match and threw it at their car. The car exploded in flames. They screamed and ran away from him. He chased them with more matches, setting fire to everything he could. They ran into the church, hoping to find shelter. They slammed the door behind them and barricaded it with pews. They looked around and saw stained glass windows depicting scenes from the Bible. They saw an altar with a cross and candles. They saw a confession booth with a curtain. They heard the man banging on the door and shouting, "Burn! Burn! Burn!" They prayed for help and cried for mercy. They heard another voice, "Don't worry." They looked at each other in confusion and hope. They heard the voice again, "I'm here." They followed the voice to the confession booth. They pulled back the curtain and saw a woman sitting inside. She was wearing a white dress and had long blonde hair. She smiled at them and said, "Hello." She looked familiar to them. They realized that she was one of the victims of the fire. She was one of the ghosts of Hollowville. She said, I've been waiting for you." She reached out her hand and said, "Come with me." She pulled them into the booth with her. The curtain closed behind them. They never came out. The Forgotten Town. 4 friends, Jake, Mia, Sam, and Zoe, decided to take a road trip to an abandoned town that was not on any map. They had heard urban legends about the town being haunted due to a mass tragedy that